Hey guys, welcome to another planty video. In this one, I'm going to reveal the latest addition or my newest acquisition to my plant collection. To me, it's considered rare here in Trinidad because I only know of one seller, and frankly, I don't even know if she has any more left. But that aside, this was not on my wish list until I saw her post it. It's my Homalomena Pink Diamond. So in this one, we're going to get into the care tips, all I've found online and was recommended by growers. The photos that you're seeing here will be credited in the description, and let me apologize from now for the audio. I currently have the flu, so my pronunciation will be worse than usual. So just hang in there. I promise that the information in here will be useful to you guys, especially if you're thinking about collecting Homalomena. I got my Homalomena Pink Diamond locally from SG's Garden Haven. I will put all the information to get in touch with her in the description. And if you're curious as to where I get my plants in general, hop on over to Instagram. Everyone is labeled with the seller. Like I mentioned before, this one was not on my radar even. It was only when I saw Sam's post and the pink variegation obviously caught my attention, but more so the dark green foliage that created this crazy color contrast throughout the plant that just captivated me. The petioles are a bright pink, and the variegation in general on the plant, well, the pink variegation bits can range from actually cream or very light blush pink to a bright, vibrant fuchsia pink. It exhibits both sectoral and marble variegation, and both can be present on a single leaf. The juvenile leaf shape is quite arrow-like, but as it matures, it transforms into a proper, full, heart-shaped leaf, rounding off at the edges, as you saw previously. Next, I want to get into who actually has them for sale internationally and the care tips. So these guys out of Taiwan have them available for $87 to 124, and this gorgeous one on Etsy was 190. And the Rare Plant Fairy out of the US have some really gorgeous specimens. By the way, all of these prices are quoted in US. The Rare Plant Fairy have them going for about 275 US, and they do offer phytosanitary certificates for $80. Here's a seller I stumbled upon for the first time. Their website is megreeneryexport.com. I'll put all the information in the description as usual, but they have some really gorgeous ones in stock. I am giving you guys a little glimpse of their website here. It's about 133 US for each one. I am curious as to if any of you guys have shopped from the sellers I've featured here in this video. Leave me a line in the comments. I would love to find out how the process was for you guys, especially if you've imported into Trinidad. Do get us all in the know. Thanks in advance. Let's get into the care tips next. I do have another stunning Homalomena in my collection besides the pink diamond, and I'll show you guys that later on in the video. But at first glance, the care tips for the pink diamond seems to be standard Homalomena care. I'm going to leave the main points for the pink diamond care up on the screen like this so you can screenshot it and give it a read through later on. But basically, the main points are that it requires indirect light, as most of the aroids we collect do, but do not put it in direct light because the pink variegation might actually fade. The leaves tend to scorch as well. With respect to watering, do not let it dry out pretty much. Once the first few inches start to dry out, it can do with a watering at that point. It loves high humidity to prevent those brown crisping edges. And while your soil type, well draining, as per usual with aroids. They thrive in temperatures of 65 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 16 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius. Pretty standard with aroid care. The fertilizing is required every few weeks. I will actually get into my existing care regime for Homalomena in Trinidad. And just to give you guys a little insight into growing it locally, so these are standard care tips here. These are some considerations that I stumbled across while I was doing my research. And I guess with every aroid, overwatering is always, something to bear in mind so that your roots don't rot. I actually found some potting suggestions, which was not strange but unique for this particular species. That is Homalomenas to basically repot every 1 to 2 years, which implies that they like to be root bound. And well, from experience, I know they pop in the pot, meaning they propagate themselves and simply just show up in the pot that they're growing in. However, if you wanted to attempt it yourself, you can do it by division. I found throughout my research for the Homalomena Pink Diamond, there was a lot of stress on how to water the plant, adequate watering, and technique in general. Pretty much underwatering really, really does the plant harm. However, it seems to be more tolerant of overwatering, but you still do want to take care when watering so that, it stays hydrated pretty much rather than drying out. Also, humidity, humidity, humidity. Humidity seems to play a really big role in if this plant thrives or not, from the research anyway. So a super low humidity can actually stunt the growth of the pink diamond. What I plan to do for you guys that live in Trinidad is I'm going to document my experience thoroughly with growing this one. I know this is like a unicorn plant right now for us, and I'll make another video in terms of if it's progressing or not, and just generally update you guys on how the care has been for it, growing it myself in Trinidad. So far, the only update I have, because I did acquire this one about a month ago or 3 weeks ago or so, and it's already put out a new leaf for me, and Homalomenas in general are considered moderate to slow growers depending on, if the natural conditions favor its growth or not, coupled with your care regime. Let me show you guys the other one in my collection. This is my Homalomena rubescens pink variegata. I got this one from Gloria's garden in Arima. I'll put all her information in the description below. So pretty much this one grows in medium light where no direct light reaches it. Actually have it tucked away in what I call one of the darkest corners in my garden. From some of my intros and outros, you would see me panning through the garden. I'm sure you would have seen it in one of the darker corners, but it loves there because the humidity is always above 70%. Over the next week to 2 weeks, I'll feature it more on Instagram in my stories so you guys can have a good look at how this one has been performing. I really, really do love it. It is such a giving plant. It is way, way easier to care for than you would think. So I just realized we haven't talked about pest treatments as yet, and pretty much this one I have never had problems with pests that my diluted neem oil and dish soap solution hasn't been able to take care of. Basically, it's sprayed weekly, and that has been working for it. So that's basically what I do in terms of pest treatment and what I intend to do with the pink diamond as well. With respect to watering, with every feed, with every watering, I give it a diluted feed, and that has had it pushing out new leaves for me. Not as fast as philodendron, I would say. It does have a slower growth rate, but leaves come out frequently enough for my liking, and the size of the leaves have not diminished, and basically I'll explain next why the size of the leaves emerging tell a story with respect to how I care for it. I've noticed something across the board with all the plants I've been caring for in the past 6 years, and the emergent leaf, the size of that leaf really tells a great story. In a nutshell, once that leaf is smaller than the one that grew previously, I check for a few things. Firstly, I check to see if it needs a feed. If with a feed the next emergent leaf comes out larger, then I know, okay, all things are well. However, if I know it has been fed and the new leaf is still smaller than the previous, it's one out of two things. It needs to be repotted or there are root mealies. If upon uprooting the plant I realize that there are root mealies, I use systemic granules, bonide systemic granules to get rid of them, and I will get rid of the old pot and repot it in the same size pot because these like to stay root bound. If it's neither of the two, I just go ahead and uppot the plant. Temperatures here in my garden in Trinidad can range anywhere from 26 degrees to 33 degrees Celsius. As I mentioned below, I try to have it in a space where the humidity does not drop below 65%. The soil mix that I use for it is the Utopia Premium Aroid Mix unamended. And the fertilizer is the TPS1. All my products, everything that I use, all my tools and stuff will be linked in the description below in my Amazon storefront, so you can check for it there. And any other mentions, I'll also put it in the description for you guys. Pretty much that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do remember to like and subscribe so I know that you guys are enjoying this content. It really gives me that motivation to continue making these types of videos. So thanks again, and I'll see you guys in the next one.